It's 2 a.m., and you bolt awake, your calf locked in a painful knot. You grab your leg, hoping it will pass, but the cramp lingers, stealing your sleep and your peace. If you're over 50, you've likely been here before, and maybe you've started to fear bedtime. But here's the thing. These nighttime leg cramps aren't always just getting older. Often, they're your body's way of screaming for nutrients it's missing. Today, you'll discover the top 7 vitamins that can strengthen your legs and stop those middle-of-the-night wake-ups. Let's begin with one overlooked mineral that could change your nights, and the science behind it may surprise you. Let's start with magnesium, the mineral that quietly controls how your muscles contract and relax. Without enough of it, your leg muscles can tighten at the worst possible time, often in the middle of the night. Have you ever noticed those cramps seem to strike when you've had a stressful day, skipped vegetables, or taken certain medications? That's no coincidence. Stress, poor diet, and common prescriptions like diuretics can drain your magnesium levels without you even realizing it. Here's the twist. Research is mixed. Some people find their cramps vanish within a week of adding magnesium, while others notice little change. So why bother? Because magnesium doesn't just target cramps, it also helps calm overactive nerves, improves muscle recovery, and even supports deeper sleep. Foods like pumpkin seeds, spinach, almonds, and black beans can give you a boost, and supplements like magnesium citrate or glycinate are easier for your body to absorb. But if you have kidney problems, you need to check with your doctor before loading up. Now, imagine if relaxing your muscles at night was just the first step. What if you could also make those muscles stronger, more responsive, and better balanced? That's where our next nutrient comes in, and it's probably sitting in your kitchen, even if you're not getting enough of it. Now, let's talk about vitamin D, the strength keeper your legs have been craving. You probably know it as the sunshine vitamin. But did you know most people over 50 in the US are low on it? And it's not just about bones. Low vitamin D can quietly chip away at your muscle fibers, slow your reaction time, and even throw off your balance. Have you noticed you're a little less steady when getting out of bed in the morning, or that your legs feel heavier climbing stairs? That could be your body telling you it's running on empty. Here's what's surprising. Studies show that the right form of vitamin D, the active kind your body can use immediately, can actually strengthen your quadriceps and cut your risk of falling by almost 20%. That's not just a number. That's fewer scary moments where you grab a wall or chair to keep from going down. You can get it from morning sunlight, fatty fish like salmon, or fortified dairy. But for many men and women over 50, a daily supplement is the only way to reach optimal levels. Still, too much can be harmful, so getting your blood levels checked is the smart move. And here's where the story gets interesting. Even with strong muscles, they won't work right if the signals between your brain and your legs start breaking down. So, what's the mineral that keeps that connection smooth and stops your muscles from misfiring at night? That's exactly what we're diving into next. Potassium is the signal stabilizer, the mineral that makes sure your muscles get the right message at the right time. Without enough of it, the relax signal from your brain can get lost somewhere along the way, and that's when you feel that sudden, sharp cramp in your calf in the middle of the night. Have you ever stood up after sitting for a while and felt your legs tremble? Or noticed that the cramps seem worse after a sweaty day in the garden or on the golf course? That's your body hinting it's low on potassium. Here's why this matters so much for you. Potassium helps balance the fluids inside and outside your muscle cells. When that balance is off, muscles can seize up without warning. It's also a quiet defender of your bones, helping to neutralize acids that eat away at bone density over time. Think about it. Better nerve signals, smoother muscle movement, and stronger bones, all from one nutrient. Bananas are the poster child, but sweet potatoes, beans, spinach, and even a baked potato with the skin can pack more potassium than a banana. Most people can get enough from food, but if you have kidney issues, you'll want to be careful with supplements. Now, imagine this. Your signals are firing perfectly. Your muscles are relaxed, but your foundation, your bones, isn't strong enough to hold it all together. That's when one wrong step or a stumble in the night can change everything. The good news? There's a mineral that can anchor both your muscles and your bones, and it's likely already on your plate. Calcium is the anchor, the mineral that keeps your bones solid and your muscles working in sync. Without enough of it, every step you take is on borrowed time. Have you ever heard of someone breaking a hip from a simple fall? Or maybe you've worried about getting out of bed at night, afraid a stumble could set you back for months. Weak bones make you cautious, but here's the thing. Calcium also helps your muscles contract smoothly. When you're low, those contractions can turn into painful cramps that jolt you awake. It's not just about drinking milk. Yes, dairy is a great source, but so are leafy greens, fortified plant milks, tofu, and sardines. The World Health Organization recommends 1,000 to 1,200 milligrams a day once you're over 50, ideally from a mix of foods and supplements. But more isn't better. Too much supplemental calcium can lead to kidney stones or even calcium building up in your arteries. That's why pairing it with vitamin D and getting it from real food when possible is your safest bet. Now think about this. Your bones are strong, your muscles are powered, but what if the wiring, the nerves that tell your legs when and how to move, starts to fray? That's when cramps, weakness, and even falls can creep in, no matter how healthy your diet seems. There's one vitamin that protects those nerve pathways like insulation on an electrical wire, and without it, your legs can't perform the way they should. Vitamin B12 is your nerve protector, the nutrient that keeps the wiring between your brain and your legs sharp and responsive. Without it, those electrical signals can slow down, misfire, or never make it to the muscle at all. Have you noticed your legs sometimes feel heavy, or you get tingling in your feet when you've been sitting too long? Or maybe you've stumbled and thought, "That was weird. I didn't even feel my foot catch." That's the kind of silent damage B12 deficiency can cause over time. It's more common than you think, especially after 50. Your stomach makes less acid, and without enough intrinsic factor, a special protein that helps absorb B12, you can eat plenty of meat or dairy and still come up short. That's why so many people find out years later that the weakness, the balance issues, even the cramps they've been battling, were tied to low B12 all along. Good sources include fish, poultry, eggs, dairy, and fortified cereals. If you follow a plant-based diet or have absorption issues, supplements or periodic injections can be a game changer. Now, even with healthy nerves, there's another problem that can trip you up: making sure calcium ends up where it belongs. Too much of it floating in the wrong places can stiffen your arteries instead of strengthening your bones. That's why you need the nutrient that acts like a traffic controller, guiding calcium straight into your skeleton and keeping your legs both strong and flexible. Vitamin K is your calcium traffic controller, the one making sure this powerful mineral goes where it's needed most, into your bones, not clogging up your arteries. Without enough vitamin K, calcium can end up in all the wrong places, leaving your bones weaker and your legs stiffer. Have you ever felt like your knees don't bend as easily as they used to, or that your joints ache after sitting for a while? That could be a sign your body isn't directing calcium properly. What's fascinating is that vitamin K isn't just about bones. It also plays a role in muscle function and coordination. Studies show it can help reduce inflammation in joints and keep movements smooth, something you'll notice every time you stand up or take that first step in the morning. You can get vitamin K1 from leafy greens like kale and spinach, and vitamin K2 from fermented foods like natto or aged cheese. K2 stays active in your body longer and is especially good at sending calcium into bones. But there's a catch. If you're on blood thinners, you need to talk to your doctor before increasing your vitamin K intake. Done right, though, vitamin K works hand in hand with calcium and vitamin D to give you a strong, stable foundation. And once you've got the structure in place, there's one last nutrient that can fuel your muscles through the night, keeping them from crying out in pain and waking you up. Vitamin B6 is your muscle's fuel manager, the nutrient that helps your body make hemoglobin so oxygen can get to every muscle fiber you own. Without enough of it, your muscles can tire out faster, leaving them vulnerable to those painful nighttime cramps. Have you ever taken just a short walk in the afternoon and then wondered why your legs feel heavy or achy hours later? That lingering fatigue could be your muscles gasping for oxygen because B6 is running low. B6 also plays a role in calming inflammation that can stiffen your legs and make recovery slower after even light activity. You'll find it in foods like poultry, fish, bananas, potatoes, and chickpeas, all simple additions to your dinner plate. For some people, especially those with digestive issues, a supplement can make the difference between waking up with burning calves and sleeping through the night. But too much for too long can actually damage your nerves, so it's worth getting guidance before you load up. Now that you've seen how each of these 7 nutrients works, here's the big question. What happens when you bring them together in your daily routine? That's where the real transformation starts. And it's exactly what we're going to wrap up with next. So here we are, back where we started. The middle of the night, that sharp cramp in your calf, the one that rips you out of sleep. But now, you know it's not just getting older. It's your body asking for what it's been missing, and you've got 7 ways to answer. Magnesium to relax, vitamin D to strengthen, potassium to steady your signals, calcium to anchor, B12 to protect your nerves, vitamin K to guide calcium home, and B6 to fuel your muscles. Picture this. You roll over at 2 a.m., but instead of clutching your leg in pain, you drift right back into deep, peaceful sleep. No fear of the next cramp, no groggy mornings, just legs that feel strong and steady when you get out of bed. It's not a miracle. It's what happens when you give your body exactly what it needs. So, here's your move. Look at what you're eating, talk to your doctor about testing your levels, and start closing those nutrient gaps. And when you finally sleep through the night without that jolt of pain, you'll know this was worth it. If this hit home for you, share it with someone who's been up at night fighting the same battle. Who knows? You might just give them back their nights too.